to another edition of our program, Guest Appearance. Today is Saturday, and it's good to have this date with you. It is still with you. My name is Tochukwu Ilo, and you are joined matter. I've had a couple of activities. It was a big memorial. We can say again and again that Edo State is fully obedient, and we won't be wrong to say that. Those who watched live or even the repeat broadcast of the event knew very well that Edo State is fully obedient. So we thank you for joining us. And of course, the principal, Peter Obi, was not just there to see only the obedience. He saw quite a couple of people, including the revered Oba of Benin, who, from the interaction, some people have come to say is obedient. So today we are going to discuss with our guest. The topic is Nigeria in ICE, intensive care unit. And so we say, arise your compatriots. So joining me to discuss this discussion is my friend and colleague, Obinna, who is joining us from Benin, Edo State. As we promised, we have in our own brother, and obedience, high consequence. High consequence, you are welcome to the program. High consequence. Obinna, can you hear that the connection is very good? If you can hear me, please confirm that you can hear me.
Oh yes, I can hear you.
Obinna, can you hear me? Okay, good. Confirm that the high consequence can hear me. Okay, I think we also expect to have in our midst Mr. Common Sense. Obinna, check if he's up and whether he can.
Mr. Common Sense is here to appear. We are waiting for him.
If you can say hi to our audience. See, something is wrong with the connection. We are hoping that it comes up live and that our guests can. I can see them online, but it's really difficult for us to.
Mr. Tito, the network is. Don't think there's anything wrong. Mr. Consequence, can you hear me? Your mic is muted. Please check from your end. Mr. Consequence, please check your mic from your end. Kindly check your mic from your end. If you cannot still hear, then I suggest you go out and come in again.
Mike, okay, if you look at, you may have to go out for your done that. You expect common sense to also join us in this group. Has it requested to join?
Not yet.
Or we wait for icon to join? Um, I'd like to give each about what's happening and the education candidate West District. And then he went round or three. I mean, with the way he was in Niger State precisely, and of course, he was also in Anambra, went with the victims.
Should I bring in Luke? I can see Luke. Can I bring in Luke? I see him
Okay,
requesting.
to bring it, look,
Should I? Luke,
was
you are
also
welcome.
in Warri. Itobi was also in Warri, and of course, we know he was also in Benue State. And just yesterday, he was in Edo State, touching the three senatorial zones of and among the people that he went to give a courtesy visit, we have our own pastor, Bishop. And he was also with Apostle Johnson Suleiman. And then he capped it all by visiting the revered His Royal Majesty, the Oba of Benin, the man who does not tolerate anything like vote buying. Of course, if you try it, it is a domain you might have the guts to battle with. So we have Luke joining us. Luke, it's good to have
Hi
you here. How are you
everyone.
doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Good to have you as well.
So how is the queen's? How is now? Is the king? Is the king no longer the queen? How is the queen? The king's country?
I think everything is getting more stable now since the new prime minister came in. In terms of the new king, people haven't really got into him the way they got into the queen. So I think it's just a matter of most countries, the British people colonized, they are getting fed up.
Mm-hmm.
So last time we had Buhari came to visit the king as well. So but I
Mm-hmm.
don't think anything will come out from it because he's not really a man that can negotiate for Nigerians.
Oh,
So we hope that we have P2B who have been running successful business and who is also a member of the chamber in London as well.
yeah.
He attends meetings with all the top business people as well. So
Mm-hmm.
before you can actually be a member of the chamber, you have to know how much you earn and how you become like a chief executive within the
Mm.
business. So
How
this
much
is
you
a
earn
man we need.
legitimately?
Exactly. No, they know that, of course. Come on, when your business is not straightforward, nobody wants to associate with you. You know the term about business ethics. If you don't
Mm.
have good morals, you're not bringing customers to those business. So that's
Mm-hmm.
why P2B is bringing renewed hope for Nigerians, and that hope we are lacking. So the UK people, everyone is bracing for P2B. Trust me, they're bracing
Mm.
for him to come to change the narrative, to come to open up the door. Most of us abroad wants to invest. I want to open a school in Nigeria, but with
Yes,
insecurity, how can you come back and say, okay, you
that
want to
is true.
open a school and visit from time to time? So it's very frustrating at the moment. So with the topic today, Nigeria in ICU, which is intensive care units.
Very well.
I don't know if you've seen Mr. Consequence. He was on not long ago. Have you seen him?
Yeah, he was not able to speak to us, probably because of a challenge with the audio.
Yeah,
So we
why
hope
was
that he
his
will come back.
microphone did you put it on mute? You didn't put it on mute, Obina, no?
No, no, no.
No. Ah, okay. It's probably because he messaged me and was showing me what he was showing. He was showing that no permission. So do you need to grant permission to him? We don't need to, do you?
No.
No, actually, when he comes on, I will admit him from his
What
end.
what he should do, what he should do, what he should do is that he should, normal regularly he has to grant permission by his own self that
Yeah.
this app should be able to access his microphone as well as his camera. So I think he
Okay.
missed one of it while
Yeah,
entering.
yeah.
So he has to go back and try to enter again. That is
Again.
correct.
Okay. Okay. Let me just message him as we speak now. Okay. Tilo.
Yes.
Um, like basically, so we don't really use Instagram anymore. Going on live shows, or is it because this one really connects with all the other platform? Is that why we
Yes.
use this one?
Yeah, this streams all round real time. So on Instagram, anybody can watch, but to join this, we'll send the link with which they can join it. So
Okay,
it
okay.
works that way.
Mm. Okay, so but it does transmit both to
And it's
Instagram.
actually fast.
It's fast. Yeah, yeah, it's true though. Yeah, it's fast. I can see that. So, but what I mean is that right now we are on live now. So, is this transmitting to Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter?
Yes, real time.
Okay, okay, fantastic. I'll see. I've messaged Mr. Kelly, I consequence, to see
Mhm.
if he will come. Yeah, we'll just give it 5 minutes. I know, the time difference. You guys are already 9 o'clock. We are still after 8, so
Yeah,
the
yes,
time
I
zone.
understand.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Okay, we'll give him a little more time to come out.
So Obina, so is it just 3 people can be on live at a go, right? Or is it 4? Tilo.
Yeah, we can take up to 10 people at the same time.
Oh, really? Okay, okay, fantastic. Okay, I just want to be sure. He's saying that you told him to allow camera, but he's not saying allow microphone. Try to enter. Let's see if it will work again. Okay, we'll see if he's coming.
Okay, perhaps while we wait for Icon Sequence to join us, we'll have a little report from Obina regarding the visitation, the rally that held in Edo State. Obina, where can you give us report from? Is it about Benin or about Aochi or somewhere else?
Thank you very much. Can you hear me? I just
Obina, we can't hear you very well. If you can just get close to the microphone, your earphone, if you can get it closer to you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you slowly.
Slowly.
You can hear me clearly, right?
Can you hear me now?
There
Yes,
seems to
better.
be a bit of a challenge.
Yeah, better.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. Good evening.
Okay.
Hello,
All right,
Mr.
thanks for
Consequence.
Hi,
Yes, please.
Mr. Kelly. We can see you. High consequence, the great high consequence,
Thank you very
the
much,
great
sir.
man
Good evening,
indeed.
brothers.
It's good to have you here. I
Thank you
must
so much, sir.
apologize for the challenge you had earlier on, and
Yeah,
you
I had
wouldn't
to speak it.
you will understand how excited our viewers are, particularly myself. I'm extremely excited. Thank you for
Okay.
joining us.
Thank you so much, sir.
Just to let you know,
Okay, let's
Mr. Kelly.
take it on. Tonight, discussing the topic Nigeria in ICU, Intensive Care Unit. Now, this is our dear country, a country that was referred to for some decades as a giant of Africa.
Mhm.
Mind you, this position was not self-assumed. It was actually the Westerners that looked at the continent and described Nigeria as a giant of Africa. And we have been playing that role. Remember our outings in Liberia, our outings in Sierra Leone, and the rest of the places that we have gone on peace.
Signals from Mr. Tio looks a bit short.
This is what we keep doing. However, it seems that the giant is sleeping. For the past 7 years plus, the giant has been asleep. The giant has been asleep to the extent that even our own citizens are being killed in numbers, much more than ever imagined, by different forms of criminals, Boko Haram, bandits, and name them. Hunger has been ravaging the nation. The good children of these giants are crying, praying, and hoping that the Messiah will come. There is need to save this man. The sources of this nation has been vandalized and carted away by criminals. Even our national asset, the oil that has been the major income earner for government, has also been stolen beyond imagination. Like Chimache would say, things have fallen apart and the center can no longer hold. So, you hear people say that if Nigeria were to be a human being, and in the medical field, it will be best described as being an intensive care unit, where maximum medical attention is required, such that efforts will be made all around to see how to resuscitate this country. And therefore, we are saying tonight, arise, O compatriots, just like our national asset. So what do you think about Nigeria, the topic, being an intensive care unit? Mr. Kelly.
Okay, hi, brothers. Good evening, sirs. Interesting topic, if I might say. And to my very good brother, Mr. Luke, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to, as a Nigerian, first and foremost, to share my view on things. Yes, indeed, it is a position that I've held on strongly to for like 2 years now. And those who know me from on my social media platform would know that I've always said that we are carried away with, or we are distracted by unimportant things, and then without paying attention to the steady decline that the nation has been going through. And I went on to say that the way the nation is set up, that I can say if care is not taken, I see the potential for this nation to become like Rwanda, the war-torn Rwanda. And I've been hammering on this for 2 years for certain reasons. You see, One of those reasons being that whenever a nation is about to destroy itself or collapse on itself, there are things that you will start seeing, decays that you start witnessing. One of those decays would be economic decay. Okay. The second decay would be
Mm.
military decay, which is security decay. All right. You see military decay, which is security decay. Then you see economic decay. And then you also see moral decay.
Mm.
And I tell people oftentimes that don't take this term moral decay for granted, because what happens is when we start experiencing security decay, economic decay, and then moral decay, what then happens is with moral decay, we become more selfish because we have this mentality of let me grab everything that I can grab because there is insufficiency. Instead of saying, okay, let us build and salvage this situation from getting worse, the mindset will then become, let me grab everything I can grab for myself before it finishes. Okay, because it's going to finish. So, and I was saying then to Nigerians that I believe that it is true that the government has failed us, but I've had a sit down with a few politicians, not because I like politics. All right. In fact, after 1993 election, it is Peter Obi right now that sparked my interest into what is going on in the nation. The point gave up on the nation, right? So I've been saying to people, let me start this way. I've sat with politicians that said to me, face on, that, oh, leave all these Nigerians, Jare. Someone know they touch them, they don't care. Right in front of me, they said to me, and I was saying to them that one day Nigerians are going to rise up against you. And they said to me, these Nigerians, these ones cannot rise anything. Because they understand that we are distracted. They understand that we have refused to look at what is happening to us. And this mentality has trickled down to several other places in the way we even view ourselves as people. In Nigeria, for instance, you would be going out and you see a road that is bad. Okay, instead of you to rally, call on your government to fix the road, the average Nigerians will create a bypass. That was the time I was coming back from Ibadan. The road was bad. And then drivers have succeeded in creating a bypass that leads to some village. You will enter inside bush, come out inside some village, you will use that village and come and bust out in the front. They prefer to do it this way than to clamor and call on the government to fix the road. So, things like this, those who rule over you that don't care about your well-being, if they don't see you rise up, they don't see the need to do anything. We can even see it in the way that we get our independence. I noticed through my study that nations that get their independence first started agitating for their independence first, because freedom has shown over time, history has shown us that freedom is not given, it is fought for. So if you want a change of condition, you don't beg those who are oppressing you, you fight for it, you agitate for it. And then when they notice that you are waking up, they will change. Once they notice that you're waking up, they will definitely change. So now, with that being said, yes, the nation is indeed is experiencing what I would call coma.
Yes.
And I don't know if this election would be a chance for saving the nation. I'm thinking that this election would be a chance for, to save the nation. So yes, it's bad, really bad, to be very honest. You're seeing what the dollar value is to Naira at the moment. Those are signs, those are economic aspect of it. We are seeing the security in the nation right now. And I was saying to people, I've heard people say before, it won't come from the north to the west. I said, then you don't understand how things work. Okay, you don't understand how things work. When the Visigoths were going to, ravage Rome, it started small by small. The Germanic tribes, it started small by small. They were invading small by small, and then they took over. And then that led to the fall of the Roman Empire. So I am saying that the nation is indeed in ICU, okay, but it is not over yet, okay. If you're even when sometimes when you're on what do you call it, what do you call this thing that you put people on when they cannot function on their own, and then you're hoping that there will be a miracle. So I feel like when we wake up and put all these screws aside and put all the distraction aside and think as human beings, we might start asking questions. And then by asking questions, those who are mismanaging us, mismanaging our resources, they will see that, oh, the people we are dealing with are starting to wake up. They will adjust and treat us better. So I think collectively as Nigerians, we have roles to play if things must change. Because if I am oppressing you and you are not making noise about it, there's no reason for me to stop oppressing you. Okay? If I am oppressing you and you're not complaining and you're not fighting back, there's no need for me to stop oppressing you. We've been oppressed as the common people.
Yes,
All right.
I was about to ask you that because first, your analysis of the situation the country has found herself is apt. Exactly what you said. This is where not even the winner takes it all. Everybody just wants to take and run away, especially the politicians. And we see what has come up as evidence now. The nation's currency, that have been stacked away for a very long time, are being brought out to the public glare, and many of them rotten, destroyed. We had one case of notes wrapped with bank cover from Oceanic Bank that's closed down some 2011 back, and we are seeing that this is really appalling, showing us that money has been taken away from greedy persons from the system, carted, put in their homes, making no contribution to the nation's economy. Money that would have been used for investment, or circulation, to make life good for people. And it's not happening just from one person. Many people did that. Politicians. It's unfortunate. One would imagine, how do Nigerians think? This news is online, is viral, and the whole world will be thinking, what is it wrong? What is wrong with Nigerians? Okay, that aside, coming forward, people are tired. An average Nigerian, a sensible Nigerian, is tired. And people are clamoring for a real and sincere change. And that's why you see the young ones coming on the street demanding for Peter Obi and petitioning in entirety both PDP and APC. They said they don't have anything to do with the old-fashioned corrupt system. They believe it to be so. They are clamoring for Peter Obi. And you see those who benefit from the system fighting against this sincere change that is being pushed for. The obedient movement is synonymous with the desire of Nigerians, okay, who are tired of what is going on. But obviously, those who benefit from the old system are fighting to ensure that this does not happen, so that they will keep reaping from the country and impoverishing it the more. Now, the question is, how do you think that the youths and every Nigerian that is tired of the situation will act to ensure that this desired change actually happens come February?
I don't know. I can't hear the brother. I don't know if it is my network or his. Can someone please clarify? Mr. Luke, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Mr. Kelly. I think his network.
We cannot hear you.
We can hear you, Mr. Kelly.
Okay, I can't hear the brother.
Okay, maybe I'll repeat my question. All right. With the situation of things where average Nigerians, those who are sensible, the youth are on the streets, and even the elders who are sensible are saying, okay, we are done with the old system. No PDP, no APC. We want a real and sincere change, which P2B represents and promises. However, the old order is fighting tooth and nail, using everything they can apply to ensure that this change desired does not take place. You can see what is happening. They accuse P2B of unimaginable things, accuse Labour Party of unimaginable things. Their presidential candidate, one of them even said that those who call themselves Labour will Labour to death. Now the question is, how do you think that those who want this change, and they're in the majority, would work hard and ensure that the devices of the old order does not happen, so we'll have this sincere change taking place? How do you think we can achieve that despite the odds?
Okay, interesting question. Thank you very much for asking. You see, there's a terminology or a phrase that we use in the Chuta community that I belong to. We say, each one teach one to reach one. Okay, if you know, because even the word knowledge in itself is not just what you know, it's not accumulation of information, it is also application, applying that which you know. The word in itself is a compound word. Know, to know something, allege, an old German word, which means to apply. All right. Now, why is this important? What you know and keep to yourself is more like useless. The beauty of knowledge is when you know it and then you share it. You are empowering other people and you're growing, and then change comes that way. Why am I starting this way? I will explain. First and foremost, for the longest time, this is like one of those first times that more Nigerians are concerned with the affairs of the nation. Prior, we seem very distracted. You have to know that we are wonderful people, very important. I've been around for a little, and I've had conversation with different people as well. I just noticed that Nigerians are just special case. Now, we know what is involved and we know what is at stake. We cannot afford, it is useless for me to know and not be able to be vocal about what I know. So there is responsibility that each one of us that know what is at stake, okay, there should be a level of responsibility upon us to share with more people and reach more people. Yes, we are making progress. We are not where we were at 6 months ago. Once upon, I remember about 4 months ago, they were saying, oh, it's just social media. It doesn't go outside of social media. Now it is everywhere, but it's still not enough, because we have to beat the people that we are dealing with hands down. And why must we beat them hands down? I will explain. So many people are distracted and they still do not know for certain what is involved. So they cannot make their mind up. But before I go further, let me give you a very simple analogy. If Nigeria today is made up of just strictly Yorubas alone, and we have these candidates, guess what? Go to bed, P2B is winning 100%. If Nigeria is made up of Yoruba alone, and these are the only candidates that we have, and all of them are Yorubas, because I've had this question before from other from supporters of other parties, and I say to them, I said, please be honest. If there is no other tribe, and these three candidates, major candidates, the front runners, are from the same party, who would you cast your vote for? Suppose Tinubu is APC, P2B is APC, Atiku is APC, and they are all Yorubas. Okay? Who would you say, oh, this is the person that we want? Each time I ask this question, is it that I get that awkward silence, and or they try to shy away, but deep down, they know they will pick a Peter Obi. So why am I bringing up this analogy? I'm bringing up this analogy so that you know the impact of our tribal differences in Nigeria. Because I'm looking at it from the perspective of what is it that goes through the mind of the African Nigerian that will cause him, in the face of all the evidences before us, to want to ignore a Peter Obi for a, say, Tinubu. And what I see is, I'm looking at a tribal factor. People think religion is our biggest problem. I say to them that you haven't really checked. I've seen that we have a bigger tribal problem than we have religion problem. Religion also has its own problem. We can deal with that later on. So why am I saying this? There are those who are willfully ignorant. They know what is right, but they are willfully ignorant, unwilling to accept the responsibility that the universe has placed at their feet and do what is right. But we have to then ask the question, what is preventing them? What is that factor that is holding them back from seeing this which is before them and picking correctly? Tribal is one of them. Then let's look at the second. Over time, the second one is poverty. And the third one is...
Okay, go ahead.
Please go
on. I was to ask, those who have this thinking, this philosophy, you see among them, when they are sick, they travel abroad. That's for those that can afford it. They travel abroad. And when they go out there, they are looking for the white medical doctors to attend to them. For those who have need to develop one business app or the other to improve their income, they go out and seek for help from India. And they don't think about tribal race in doing that. Now, when it comes to changing your own home country such that everything you need outside, you will probably get them at home. And not just for you, it's for good of you. You start playing tribal sentiments. So even if your own tribe person does not possess what is required to lead the country aright at this specific point in time, you insist that he comes there. Does that show reasonability? Does that show that we belong to this generation? Now, the Bible would say, resist the devil and it will flee from you. We would also apply that to this palace and ask Nigerians, no matter your tribe, no matter your religion, resist so that our afflictions will be no more. It will flee from us. Now that takes me to another question. But before I go ahead, let me recognize the presence of our own leader of this group, Mrs. Priye, who has joined us all the way from Canada. Priye, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Sorry, Tilo, my I've been misbehaving. Yeah, I don't know why my video just went off suddenly. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Consequence.
Hi, Madam Priya. How are you doing, ma'am?
I'm good. You're always insightful, and we really, really appreciate it. We couldn't have done it without you echoing, but yeah.
All right.
So,
all right.
Thank you very much.
So the question that I want to ask is, I consequence you are in the entertainment industry, a celebrity, and let me ask, because lately we observed that many of your colleagues in Nigeria seem to be having this apathy towards the transition that is on now. And I want to ask, is it that they don't feel this bad economy as it is? How do you think that the economy of this country has affected the income of the celebrities, especially people in your own line of work? Is there a need also for them to take a stand and speak out?
All right. I'm going to tell you how I see these things. First and foremost, I do not, other than seeing our celebrities as being good in their particular field, we have to understand that too many of them are not that, let me look for a kind word. I'm not usually kind when I want to say what I want to say, right? But there is limitation to what they know outside of their field. Because like I said, it is when you know that you have that responsibility to act upon that which you know. You are dealing with a movie person. Other than doing their movie, you better understand that many of them do not even understand what is at stake. Okay? Let alone of looking at the world from the angle of, oh, hold on, we are behind, and then these are how other people are doing it to be up there, and we have to do it. Now, that is one thing. Another thing is, I would be honest with you, and I said this during the NSAS, which I have been saying. I'm going to, and I will tell you why I said this. When Daddy Freeze opened his Free the Nation movement, he's actually a friend before we had our own differences, you know, it's not a big deal anyways. And Nigerians, we are people that love anything that is trendy. Let's establish that. Whether or not we understand that which we are subscribing to is another discussion, but once it is trendy, we want to really, you know, be part of it. When he started the Free Nation movement, and then the shouts in the entire Nigeria is, oh, pastor this, pastor that, pastor this. I said, I love it, no problem. I love the religious activism. But I said to Nigerians, and I said, if we can use the same energy and do political activism a little, there would be change. If we can put the same energy, pastor this, I love it. Because churches also, or religious places also have their little faults too. Okay? But if we can, you have to understand that the next person to be in charge of your economy, or in charge of your infrastructure, in charge of your minimum wage, is not your pastor. It's much more about your political leaders. So maybe we should give the same energy into political activism, because that requires proper work. We are then dealing with things according to their order of importance. I'm going somewhere with this small narration. So I was calling on Nigeria. I love it. Put this energy into political, you know, study a little, call out of government, this, that. Keep drumming it to their hearing. Let them know that you are waking up and there's something is going on. Okay. Fast forward to then, pay attention to this real quick. Fast forward to then NSAS. If you notice, it was because the common Nigerian kept on pushing that eventually led the celebrities to lend their voice, to the point where we start seeing pastors even join the movement during NSAS. The common man started the movement, and then they kept on pushing. Now, when they, you know, their efforts, okay, was what our celebrities had to buy into, to then say, oh, hold on, these are our fans, and then they are clamoring for something, they are crying for something. Now there's something at our step that we cannot escape. We cannot act like we don't know that our fans are crying. So they have to, even some of them, when they don't sincerely mean their contribution, they just have to do it for the sake of doing it. Because I'm telling you something, if many of the celebrities that came out during NSAS, if they were intentional or they internalized what was, you know, by now we should have a different movement that would not die. So how I'm answering this question is this. Yes, they are usually, we don't, where I come from, away from, I have communities that belong to, especially in America, right? We have always said something, that celebrities are not activists. You cannot count on celebrities as activists, because oftentimes they place their career as priority. Okay, they place their career as priority. One is thinking, oh, I'm going to go and use Oriental for my show, and I don't want somebody to be angry because of what I said and don't give me Oriental. You know, this is how they think. I'm being open with you. So they are very careful, because these are people that are not free. I don't see them as free people. We usually laugh at celebrities as, sometimes we even say celebrities are modern slaves. And why we call them modern slaves is because they have something in mind, but they cannot say it out. So we just be like, that is the modern version of slavery, where you cannot express yourself. Because one of the things that make a slave is not just the shackles around your ankle, but because you do not have that freedom to express yourself, which is the gift by the Creator, to utilize and express what you feel inside of you. So what do we have to do here? They know something. Outside of social media, when we gather together, say we are drinking or partying, they say it. People will be there, they say it on the ground. they would lend their
Mm.
voice, but first, the common man who is not a celebrity must fight.
The
So when we
common
start
man who is
fighting,
not
they will
celebrity
have
must fight.
fight. In our fighting, that is how they will be left with no option than to contribute. They are waiting for us to
Mm.
take step. It's happened. We can use what happened during the NSAS as a template. Pastors were coming out later on. But if we sit back and expect pastors and celebrities to play fronts while no, it's not going to happen. They want to see us fight.
Mm.
And I understand they are weighing their risk. Because you have to understand that to fight for Nigeria sometimes too is not easy. So they are thinking, are these people ready? But once they see that the fire is there and the fire is not dying, they will come out. I'm seeing P Square. Okay, I see what P Square is doing. You know, he's lending his voice. He needs more fire. He's lending his voice because he see that the people are not giving up. The movement has gone beyond social media. Is everywhere. He's giving his voice. The rest celebrities are going to eventually join, but we must fight. The common man must fight, and then they will be left with no option than to join. So I think I'll just leave it at that. Sorry for taking much of your time.
Thank you very much, Kelly. You just said it right, because it was important to get this clear that this is not a fight for the celebrity. This is a fight for every Nigerian. Okay, and so everybody has got to wake up and pick up his arm and fight. What we are talking about here, that's the voters card we are talking about, and not just the voters. You must also begin to be an evangelist, speaking to everybody that you come across in the markets, the churches, your other places of worship, in your workplace. Then you talk to everybody and tell them, look, I am tired. I myself, I am tired. What about you? We are tired, and so we must step up something positive to help our life. Okay. Now, on the general route, I will throw this question to everybody that is online now in this program and participate. All right. Now, who said this? If we are to make this Dorata, what do you think that the obedience should be doing month by month until the election holds in February? We are now in November. In about 2 weeks, this month will be gone. We'll be talking about December. Of course, the euphoria of Christmas will be in the air and people might try it. Now, what do you think that obedience should be doing month by month, say by December, in January, Valentine, February? How do we make this obedience such that we resist, we refuse to be subdued by the powers of good? Let's advise Nigerians in the right direction.
Okay. Thank you very much. The first thing is, you see, when you go to war with people who internalize the struggle or the purpose or your ideology, they will fight to death for you. But when you go to war with people who do not buy into your ideology, they might abandon you in the war and run away. This is why in the act of war, in fact, there's a book by Niccolo Machiavelli. The title of the book is The Prince. All right. And he said that oftentimes it is better to use your own people as your military people in war than using machineries. And what is the reason? The machinery is fighting for good, does not internalize your ideology or the purpose for your war. So they weigh their risks and they can abandon you anytime. But when you use your people, they understand the struggle and what is at stake, they will fight till death. Why am I saying this? I will explain. I'll give you an example. I feel bad whenever I see an obedient saying stuff like, I can't tell you who to vote, but vote for the right person. That sounds like a statement from someone who does not understand what is at stake or internalize the ideology. You can't come out and say, I can't tell you, but vote for who is right, do the right choice. Stop saying that. Tell them, vote for Peter B because he is the right choice. You sing it into their consciousness. Gobel, there's something known as the theory of big lie, where if you repeat something long enough, even if it's a lie, Okay, if you repeat it long enough, over and over, it becomes the truth. It sinks. Some of you can remember, for instance, when they used to tell us that Nigeria played ball against India and India beat us 99-1. It was a thing.
I remember
Our
that story.
grandfather passed it down to our father passed it down to our uncle passed it. That's the story of big lie right there. Because they repeated it long enough and it becomes the truth. So obedience must be intentional. We must be intentional. We must understand that this is a fight. This is a war. We must understand that we would speak using concrete terms, not abstract terms, such as vote for who. I can't tell you who to vote for, but make the righteous. No, I am telling you vote for Peter B because he's the right choice, and XYZ is why he's the right choice. Keep repeating it. That is one step. Second step, it must become an anthem. We must speak. Some of us, we live in the so-called urban area. Our families are in the so-called village and this thing. And these village people, our family in the village also have to vote. Pass the message down. As the message is becoming an anthem in your lips, it must become an anthem in their lips as well. Let it sink. So what we must continue to do is preach the gospel as loudly as possible. Do something. Social media, post it on your social media. Sometimes I don't understand how people cannot once in a while post something about who they support on their social media. Post it right there. That is a contribution that each of us can give. We can turn things around by becoming active ourselves. People emulate people. We see it when, let me give you an example. Whenever there is a new viral dance, for instance, or any viral something, how does it become viral? Someone initiates it, okay, and then make it a thing, and then start passing it, they sink it into our distance, and then and then we pick it and then make it viral. Do something. Don't be, how can you be support? Are you supporting Peter B from the shadow or something? Be out there in the light, not in the shadow. Be out there in the light. Post something on your page. Utilize your social media handle. I do not understand how people cannot do that though. Okay, utilize your social media handle. Post a vote for Peter B. Go to Priye. By the way, big shout out to you, Sister Priye, for what you've been doing. I respect that so much, right? Go to Sister Priye page. Repost what she has posted. She's been doing a lot of debate out there, putting her time into research, giving you the information. Copy it, post it on your page. You post it as yours, no problem. Do it as if you are the one that wrote it, no problem. Do you understand? Because you know why? Sister Priye has limitation to the people that she can reach. She has a crowd. I have my crowd. If she posts and I post, we are reaching more people. As someone else posts, we are reaching more people.
Yes.
I used to say, let me just land it this way. I used to say something. I saw something very interesting. There's a blog page on Instagram. They call this blog page Gist Lover. Interestingly, Nigerians, those who use social media like that, they depend on Gist Lover to get justice for them. Okay? They know that if there is something in them is telling them that if we take our case to Gist Lover, it's going to help us get justice. Then one day I was saying to myself during one of my discussions on IG Live, I said, do you know what is interesting? So these people know that there's some power in social media. Imagine if each single followers of Gist Lover also become power too. That means the one following Gist Lover is going to also expand and create more people. This is more power spreading. We can do the same thing with Peter B, the movement in itself. Go to Sister Priye's, go to all this, post something. Post, don't be shy. Utilize your social media. So what I'm saying is how we can go about it from now is we have to have that power of persuasion. We have to be outspoken about it. Don't speak as if you are afraid. Okay? Don't speak as if you are afraid or as if you are not sure. Okay? Finally, there's this saying that if a lion, if a lion leads goats that bought into this lion ideology and they internalize it, they will fight like lions. But if a goat leads lion and they bought into goat ideology, they will only fight like goats. Why is this important? This is important because if we stop showing fear and we become more intentional and we speak more with authority that this is who we should be voting for, you would be shocked at how much we can achieve. So what we should be doing is sing the gospel as loud as possible, spread the gospel as loud as possible, make it go viral. Okay, speak to your people, persuade your people. Okay, tell them what is at stake. Let them see it in you that something is, let them know what is at stake. And you see that there will be change. I've been able to do that with the people around me, actually. I've seen people that are actually huge article people around me, and I just have conversation with them. They'll just tell me why you think it makes sense. I want to listen to you. Sometimes when people are really having conversation with you and they see that what they are saying is not making sense, they will change. So I think I'll just leave it at that, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Kelly. We need to be persuasive and we need to be assertive. Then we need to be resilient. This is November. Starting now will be very good. All through the Christmas time and then into the new year, then cap it up during the Valentine. Everybody should do something. The least you can do now is to go to various pages, individual and group pages, where they have evangelical posts about the obedience and Peter will be himself. Copy and then paste so that your own followers would see and read. Okay? Do not sit on the fence. Do not think that people can make the right decision of who becomes the next president. You know the criteria for making such a decision. Many have, for a very long time, pushed into whatever happens, let it. And this is Africa, particularly Nigeria, where people believe that everything that happens is an act of God. Okay, however, whatever God willeth will do, whatever happens becomes the will of God. No. If whatever happens becomes the will of God, then you will not decide which meal to eat in the morning. You would not have varieties to choose. There will be no choice. You just take anything, right? So, are you saying that those who jumped the lagoon last week, it was an act of God? Of course not. We must take responsibility for what we do. We want to have, and then work. That's time to decide. And then you have made that decision. Peter will be, is going to be the next president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And this is because he is most wise. It has nothing to do with tribe or religion or whatever divide that people have erroneously been applying at the time past. Thank you very much, Mr. Kelly, the high consequence, for being with us tonight. You have made this night a very memorable one, and we will live to cherish this. We hope that again, when we invite you, you would have the time to come on this show and share your thoughts, Nigerians, home and abroad. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much, sir. All right.
Okay.
Thank you so much, guys.
Mr. Kelly, thank you.
I had fun. Okay. Sister Priya, thank you so much for everything that you're doing. Posterity will remember you, that's for certain. Mr. Luke, thank you so much. Mr. Common Sense, thank you so much for the opportunity. And I'm just hoping that those who would listen to this discussion would at least pass the message along. All right, just pass the message. Sometimes we have to do what white people do. And what is that thing that they do? There is this adage that says it's attributed to a guy named Rumi. It says, the man who plants a seed, knowing that he may not sit under the shade of the tree, is the man who is starting to understand life. What differentiates white people from black people is they are thinking 100 years from now. We are always thinking now. In fact, the most we think is we think now and then we think our children. We never think the future. Okay, like that. We just think now, make I chop now, then make my child chop, my children chop. That's all. No, we must see beyond that. So I'm just asking people to please do what is right, not necessarily for their own self alone, but for the future, so that the future generation will remember you, and history will remember you for the part that you play. So thank you for bringing me on. And definitely, whenever you want me to show up, I would really be honored to come true. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kelly. Our own high consequence. We wish you a very good day and hope to see you again. All right. That was Mr. High Consequence. Kelly, we thank you. And now, tonight, we've had a very fruitful time with him. He has said it all. Okay, everybody needs to boldly take a stand. Don't sit on the fence. And I'm sure that the right stand to make is to be with Peter Obi, the obedient, because it represents the sincerity that we desire. We have in our midst tonight, not only that it has been fine, talking about this Amazon herself. We will move over to Mr. Common Sense. I can see.
Okay. Welcome, Mr. Common Sense. Your presence is appreciated. I know you have a very busy schedule. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the privilege. Honored to be here.
Okay, that was prayer. Now, on the screen, you will see our own handsome brother. I remember my days in the university. You know, my lecturer will look at somebody, a guy, and he will say, "You look beautiful." And who say it's not beautiful, it's beautiful. He said, no. For the guys, it's beautiful. But for the ladies, it is beautiful. But that was to say that this young man is really looking very good. All right. So we have Mr. Common Sense with us. You're welcome, sir.
Good evening. Thanks for having me once again. I apologize quite early. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you now. But if you can come closer to the mic, that would be more good.
Right. Okay. All right. I thought I had a. Okay.
It got better. You can go ahead.
Like I'm not getting this. Is it better?
Yes, it's better now, sir.
Yeah, you need to flip your camera.
You may want to use your camera mic. Perhaps that would be better.
Okay. Maybe I should actually. Okay. Better now?
Yes, much better.
Okay. I'm sorry. I had to put a few things together, and then secondly, I'm an Arsenal fan. I had to somehow try to see catch a glimpse of our match. This is why I was doing this setup. Also, I totally forgot. I'm sorry for that. It's not in my person, but I apologize. Hello?
All right, can you hear me? Okay, great. Okay. So, Mr. Common Sense, I don't know why I'm echoing. Am I echoing for everyone?
Yeah.
Prayer, I think your microphone is kind of echoing as well.
Yeah. Got it. Give me a second.
Is my sound? Hello.
Yes, we can hear you now.
Mr. Common Sense, your mic is echoing. Your mic is actually echoing. See how you can work on it.
Is okay. Okay, give me a moment.
Okay.
Priya, can you try talking now? Let's see.
Yeah. So can it look can I don't know. I'm bouncing out from someone else's live. Is it better now?
Sorry.
Yes, Madam Priya is in Canada. Your network is
Clearly, but can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now, sir. Okay, I think you are getting clearer.
Okay, I should just revert to I think it's the studio I'm in.
Well, this is part of the problems that we need to fix in this country. Network is a big challenge. Having a stable, there is epileptic power supply, there is epileptic network provision.
Mr. Tilo, let me see how. Mr. Tilo.
Yes.
Let me see. Let me try to refresh his audio and see if it picks properly after that.
Okay, and I think your end is also echoing. Eh?
So is it much better with every other person? Is it? Please let me know.
Well, I can hear you very well from this end, Mrs. Priya. Obina, I believe you can also hear her.
Yes, I can. I can hear her very clearly.
Okay, thank God. Thank you for joining us. I know you have a busy schedule. So much for the work you're doing regarding Peter Obi campaign and his candidacy as a whole. It's more we see very, very passionate Nigerian front in the conversation. For a very long time, been a disconnect between, the and the political class. So usually we don't think we should be part of the conversation. But around people have taken it upon themselves to set the stage. Very, very, very impressive the way you take up the mantra and just continue to lighten and really pretty much pull the actual issues at hand. So when we started supporting Peter, many of us were doing it out of, we didn't know what the turnout would be. Many of us, he will garner support or whatever. We just say, you know what, in good conscience, and for no point compromising this time around, we're going to face the issues, and whoever is addressing the issues that exist, we will candidate, and it, of course, conclusively, it will be because he's the only person. I keep saying he's the only person actually addressing them. So, from your perspective, I know you interact a lot with people out on social media. You're on the streets talking to people. What is your perception as to will, or how the election will go, that we're seeing many things that are causing people to, the credibility of INEC, and nobody knows how, February will play out. That we all step out to go and vote, how it will play. What is the mood out there? What is the press? And how can we, I think he has gone up by himself, so how can we get people more in the process? I think we can see he gets back. Kotilo, what do you think about? Because he said we're dealing with, I keep words, I say we're dealing with political principalities and establish themselves as a stronghold on the Nigerian government and its structure. Currently, it's against this political class between we. So, what do you think the perception is out there? Get people more involved in the conversation. As I have actually come across, and I keep speaking with people who are current political process because they are very, very disappointed, and they lending their voices, or even as much as, what is the current mood out there? I know people who have read the Gospel of Peter, people, Mr. Common Sense, what is that currently through your engagement? What matters? We can hear you are breaking, but go ahead. We're listening. So just go ahead.
Prayer, I think the microphone, if you wanna check the white microphone you are using was better before. I don't know what you're using right now. I don't know if it's network or just your microphone, your earphones.
Yes, that's correct. I'm having a bit of echo.
Is it me?
No, we can hear you
No,
clearly,
no.
Prayer. You are fine. We can hear you clearly.
Is it now?
Yes, it's clearer now. If you can, I think the earphones are better when you use the earphone. Reduces when he uses the earphones. Is it better now?
Okay.
Great. So please go ahead.
Thank you. I can hear you. Is that for everyone?
Okay, I think the challenge has proven to be much more difficult, and this also happens to be a busy hour for our guest, Mr. Common Sense, and really we regret that we cannot continue the interview since it's not making way. However, we'll thank Mr. Common Sense for his time, and we'll thank everybody that has come on board. Because of these technical issues tonight, we would make every effort to bring him back on air, and that would be, of course, after taking care of this challenge. So, like we always say, we are obedient, and we'll call it a night at this point, and assure you that on Tuesday, We will slug it out with our referees live against our opponents. And then on Thursday, we'll repeat the same thing. Please take a stand with Peter Obi all the way until the day of election. Remember, it is Labour Party, not the other Labour. Labour Party, and the logo is Papa, Mama, and Pekin. Only 3 persons, nothing more than that. Okay? Look well and make sure your thumbprint within the box. Do not make the mistake of touching the edge. Even if it's just a small print, just keep it there. Once it's at the center, it is a valid vote. All right? And we want to tell you to also talk to others around you. Talk to everybody that you come across until we finish this race. It is not over until it's over. My name is Tochukwu Ilo. I am fully and unapologetically obedient. See you again. Pray. Luke, can you say hi and good night to our lovely viewers?
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. I'm apologetically, and please keep going. Don't give up. Make sure that you continue, even if it's one person a day. Make it a point, people. And I also like to point out that you can be in process if you miss the registration to vote between, the INEC deadline and now in the future of this country, and to make it to either register as a voter or your registration or whatever it is that made you miss vote. Do not hesitate to INEC website as an ad hoc staff for the Labour Party. Is on the Labour Party's official website. We need more everywhere spread across at all the polling, watching out and defending our democracy as much. Register, be part of the process. Do not, if Nigeria is good for one person, we have to make sure we're involved in this. And I encourage every obedient. You are doing great work for where you don't have resources to back up the campaign. There's never something like too much right. Thinking about the current issues, possible solutions, and they see it's never too much. Please don't give up. Let's foot forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. My name is Luke Okolie, and I'm fully obedient. And I want to encourage each and every one of us, wherever you are, your grandmom at home, your mom, everyone, wherever they are, you need to educate them more and to vote for P2B. Okay, so February is not very far anymore, and now they're circulating money everywhere. Okay, the naira that they have been hiding for many years now is beginning to come out. And I heard recently that most local governments of PDPs, all these states, they are now saving money. They're not doing any projects anymore. All the saving money is for the election. Do not take 20,000, 30,000 just for only 4 years, and your future is gonna be at risk. I encourage everyone to put hands together. We saw how the NSAS happened. The common people came out, and all of a sudden, all the celebrities joined. This is what is going to happen. If everyone, common people, begin to speak out and come out fully, the celebrities will now speak out. They are saying, vote wisely, vote wisely. That's not what we want to hear. Tell us, vote for P2B. Be proud and say it with your full chest. This is the only chance we have. The only hope is P2B, and I encourage everyone to keep pushing. We'll finally get there by next year, February. Thank you, everyone. Okay?
Thank you very much. Thank you. All right. So this is where we'll draw the curtain. We encourage you to join us next time as we push further to recover our country. Good night. Be obedient.
Good night.